Stefon John Worrell with the Associated Press.
What's up, big guy? How you doing?
Good. Hope you had a good weekend to relax.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate that.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago, you talked about turning over a new leaf and kind of handling things differently than before. Just wondering, was that almost a conscious decision whether you were getting moved or staying in Minnesota? Was that, I mean, I know things come with maturity, but was that something that you consciously decided to do, back then?
During that time, I felt like it took a lot of self-reflecting with me, just as a man and as my growth and my process. Whether I was staying or where I was leaving, I felt like my process moving forward after that year, I was going to handle things a certain kind of way. And it just happened that I go into a new situation and I got to take those necessary steps and grow as a man.
Right. Because as accomplished as you've been, I mean, even before you got to Buffalo, everybody remembers that touchdown catch but there seems to be some kind of a shadow you've wanted to get out of. What am I wrong in reading that? Maybe.
Yeah, you're wrong in that. Just because I always felt like I've been in many different situations, even like with my rookie year. I didn't play the first 3 games. But as far as like a shadow, it wasn't necessarily that. It's always been me versus me. I kind of felt like throughout my career, I've been dealt a set of cards that I've always played well. I had to play them how they came. And I remember my rookie year, I didn't play the first 3 games, and people forget we had one of the best backs to ever play the game. Then we were a run-heavy team, so kind of like a lot of things were setting me up for my success now. And I feel like I took that necessary time last year to grow and learn from all those years past, just so I can be prepared for my new opportunity.
And lastly, I don't want to say, you've arrived or that you focus on numbers, but is it how meaningful is it to you to know that you're 400 some yards away from breaking franchise records, 27 catches away from matching Eric Moulds? Does that mean something to you? Maybe does it validate your thought process in turning over a new leaf in some ways?
That's a tough question. It's a great question. Just because when I say it's me versus me, I never really look at my past situation, just because whatever cards you were dealt at the time were your cards and you had to play them well. With my new situation, you know what I'm saying, we got a different kind of offense than I was in before, you know what I'm saying? With those records that are in place, you know what I'm saying, I got a lot of respect for those guys. I don't make the rules, whether they're broken or not. Of course I'm gonna be thankful, but I'm chasing something much bigger than that. I'm chasing greatness. I want to be great each and every day. I challenge myself even each and every day in practice and in weight room and just trying to get better. So stuff like that's going to come with your grind and with your commitment to your craft. So I'm not really necessarily thinking about that kind of stuff because, like I said, the chips going to fall kind of where they lay. And I just kind of want to take whatever blessing comes, but I'm chasing something bigger that me and my team is chasing something bigger than that, than individual success. And I feel like individual success will take care of itself as far as like when you're goal oriented and all your teammates are pushing for you and the guys around you want the best for you. It's all that stuff is going to take care of itself. We're chasing something much bigger than that. And that's winning each and every week. Everybody got the big thing on the wall, but that's winning each and every week.
Thanks so much for the insight.
No doubt, big guy.
Hey, Stefon, Dante Lasting, Bills.com. How you doing?
What's up, big guy? You look super young, by the way.
20 years old. What has stood out to you the most about the Chargers team from watching the film?
They're impressive in the back end. They got 2 guys on the end that can rush the passer extremely well. As a receiver, that's something that you jot down just because you know what kind of day you'll have as far as getting to your depth and getting to where you need to be on time and helping your quarterback. So great pass rushes, good guys on the back end. It's going to be another challenge for us, offensively, and something that I always say I look forward to. I like challenges. I've been preparing all week and going to continue to prepare.
Definitely. Well, good luck this weekend and have a good Thanksgiving.
Thanks, big guy. Appreciate you. Enjoy your time.
Thank you.
Steph Finesse.
What's up, big guy?
Sports 1080.
How you doing, big guy? Ain't nothing, taking my time.
Keep you as Crispy Scully going on too, by the way.
I think my guy, he always gives me a new hat. I asked him just have a hat for me, and I'm good to go.
Actually, speaking of that new hat, man, you here in Buffalo, and it kind of seemed like, to some degree, media tried to give you a bad rap or whatever went on in Minnesota. But right now you're in Buffalo. You're doing great things. What's your overall assessment on being here in Buffalo and playing ball?
People, it's crazy because my coach came up to me today, our online coach. He was just like, "How are you?" And I was like, "I'm happy." And I said it with a smile, just because, I've been busting my ass for a long time as far as like with my craft and with my grind, but mentally being in the right place and pushing in the right direction. I've always been trying to be that guy, trying to have positive energy, and I'm just happy to be where I am. I'm happy with the guys that I'm around, and I'm thankful. I would say more than anything, I'm thankful. I'm thankful to be here. Thankful for the opportunity. So I've been just trying to take advantage of it.
Right. And everybody in Buffalo is thankful for whoever that guy started that rumor last year that you was at Duff's. We appreciate that guy because you're here
No
now.
doubt.
So,
No doubt.
Happy Thanksgiving, my guy, and good luck this week.
Thanks. I appreciate that. You too.
Hey, Stefon, Dad Brown. I want to ask you about the relationship between a wide receiver and a quarterback and being able to dissect blitzes and knowing, when to change routes, when to adjust stuff. What's the most important part or most important thing when it comes to building that relationship and figuring that stuff out?
From my end,
Either your end or in general.
My end is catching the damn ball, I guess. As far as like with your quarterback, especially with a young quarterback, it's all about building trust early and being where you're supposed to be. And everything isn't going to be perfect. I tell them that all the time. We're not going to be perfect. You got to remember, we only been together for a couple months now, so being perfect is probably far fetched. But for my job, I just try to make the plays that he's throwing to me, the ball that's thrown to me, and that's how you build. That's how you build a relationship. That's how you build chemistry, and that's how you build a strong team. As far as like making the plays that come your way, whether they're perfect or not. And when they're not perfect, we'll figure out a way to make the next one better. So just as far as like staying in rep after rep and trusting your guy, I trust him. So he got a super strong arm too. So I just got to try to get open.
I was asking Josh about trusting Cole Beasley and the relationship they developed. Obviously, he's been here longer than you have. Is there an individual way to do this? And can you, if you see that it's worked with Cole, can you do it his way, or does it have to be your way so that Josh understands how you're going to react differently?
It's definitely different, just because like I would say nobody's the same, nobody's perfect. It's definitely stuff that I can learn from Cole as far as like being in a position, and it's that stuff that I've learned from Cole since I've just been in a short period of time. But as far as like our body types are different, the way we run routes is different. The way we get open is kind of different. People think it's just all the same as just getting open and doing things, but it's definitely something that you got to build a rapport yourself with the quarterback. But learning and steady learning is stuff that I'm never going to stop doing. Cole has been in the game for a very long time, so I'm never going to think I got it all figured out or nothing like that. I'm always trying to steal some stuff from him. He's might be a little quicker than me though, so I'll try to take heed to that.
Real quick, can you give me a couple of things you have stolen or learned from Cole?
Probably patience. Patience. If you ever watch Cole, it's patience. I always worked on being sudden and being efficient at the top of my routes. And for me, I would just say one thing is patience, and just playing a little bit of mind tricks as far as like giving them something that you didn't want them to have. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe giving them something that you wanted them to have and let them bite the cheese a little bit. But probably patience is number one.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it.
No doubt.
Hey, Steph, it's Kim Jones from NFL
How you
Network.
doing?
Hi. Speaking of perfect, I wanted to ask you about that play with 34 seconds left in Arizona. How perfect was that throw from Josh, obviously, and that catch you made in the end zone?
I wouldn't say my catch was that good. I mean, I felt like that catch was just the usual, but that was a hell of a ball. Especially, I don't know why, but I always think like after like a long game, you think a quarterback just starts spinning it, and he put it in the perfect spot that only I could get it. And I don't know if I could play quarterback. I think my arm would be sore halfway through the game, but he definitely finds a way to continue to deliver the ball at a high level, and I'm thankful to have him. I just trust him. Anytime I'm out there, I know he's gonna put it somewhere where I can get my hands on it. So yeah, shout out to him.
I wasn't going to follow, but how could the catch have been better? It was a great catch in a small area of the field. I'm watching on TV going, oh my God.
I don't know. I think it's more the throw than anything. I always give him the credit. Quarterbacks. I feel like quarterbacks take a lot of the heat when things aren't going right. When they do get right, they get some love, but it's never too much love. But give them all that love.
I feel like I always learn a little bit from you on these Zooms, and I thank you for that answer.
No doubt. Happy holidays.
Same to you. Thank you.
Hey, Stefon, Matt Fairburn here. You've talked about building that timing and that trust with Josh, and I'm just curious what you can say about, we don't see a lot of receivers switch teams and have this much success this quickly? And you mentioned it's only been a few months, but what are some of the things that you've done you think that not only helped you, build that chemistry with Josh, but kind of hit the ground running in a really weird off season, no less?
Yeah, definitely a weird off season. I would say, like you guys kind of caught it in training camp a little bit when we were out there, and things wouldn't be necessarily how we want them. Might have been good, but might not have been perfect or exactly how we want them. And we'll go rep again, or we'll go rep it again, and we'll talk about it. We'll talk through it, and I'll tell him that I'm gonna do this at the top. So you know what I'm saying, just anticipate it, or he'll tell me like, I want you to do this, so do this for me. And it's just it's a ongoing, it's a never-ending conversation between quarterback and receiver. And once you kind of get comfortable with a guy, you can anticipate what he'll do. You know what I'm saying? And for me, as a receiver, I always want my quarterback to anticipate what I'm gonna do, because I want him to read my mind sometimes, and sometimes I gotta read his. I feel like I did back a couple weeks ago against the Patriots, against the pick. He threw a pick, but it was my fault. It's always my fault anyways. But I sat it down when I just should have just kept running, because I beat him, and he saw that he threw it. So for me, just trusting that, my first instinct, trusting that when I beat him, he's going to trust me and give me a chance for the ball. So I get super, super disappointed in myself just not making all the plays for him. I know I talk about being perfect, but I want to be perfect as well, especially when it's a pick. I feel like heartbroken, because it's never his fault. He always going to put the ball somewhere where I can get it.
Is there, it's an interesting position, receiver, because so much depends on the quarterback, right? Like you can't put up yards without a quarterback throwing it to you. Is there anybody that you've, any receivers whose brains you've picked on how to get on the same page with your quarterback? I imagine that's kind of a learning process as you go throughout your career to develop that relationship. Is there anybody you've leaned on to kind of, figure that out?
Yeah, that's a tough question. Not really. Nobody that I leaned on. I've learned a lot from the guys. My success is all predicated on the quarterback. Not only the quarterback, the O-line, protecting the quarterback, giving them time to deliver the ball, and everybody involved. I got to trust my guys around me that's going to, somewhat get me open or me get them open, whatever works. But it's all about with the quarterback, and it all runs through him. So building that relationship, going from just making plays and being consistent. I played with many different quarterbacks. And it just come from making plays. I've seen guys build rapport with guys, and it come from being consistent and being healthy and available. I try to be as healthy and available as possible. I remember early in my career, I wasn't as available. I'll come in hot and I'll have some small tissue injuries or something like that that'll slow me down. And I learned my lesson throughout that way, because, you can be as good as you want, but if you ain't available, you can't make the club in the tub.